Greetings, everyone. My name is Justin, and I'm studying engineering. I currently live in Japan, and I manage a couple of different calibration labs for the U.S. Navy and the Marines. Been studying engineering off and on for about a decade, but with the heavy work and travel schedule and being a father of 4 young boys, school hasn't always been my priority. Now that the boys are a bit older, my youngest is 8, my oldest is 13, I have a little bit more bandwidth, so I'm trying to ease back into the mind of a student. I'm really involved with the Cub Scouts and the Boy Scouts on base, and I have had a hobby aquaponic farm for about a decade. That is a hydroponic farm, but instead of adding nutrients, we add a fish tank, and fish poop feeds the plants, for lack of a better words. So I'm trying to apply all of my engineering studies to my garden to try to make the system more efficient, and I want to extend that same line of thinking to this economics class, because at the end of the day, I want to take it from a hobby and scale up to something more commercial. So economics is definitely going to play a part of that. So we're going to roll into the questions now. The 5 market structures of the U.S. economy. They're a perfect competition, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, monopoly, and monopsony. That's the downside of recording this as opposed to just typing it out. My speaking isn't always the best. But if we want to talk about the increasing consolidation of many industries, whether that's a benefit or a burden, this is just one of those questions where there's not really a perfect answer. So on one hand, I firmly believe in competition and that it breeds ingenuity. But consolidation is typically going to kill that, or at least make a very wide moat for the very least. It widens the moat so much that smaller startups can't even get their foot in the door. But on the other hand, if you have industries like public utilities, you need some sort of a consolidation. Otherwise, it's just going to be a mess. If you think about like the electric grid, if we had multiple competing power companies running their own lines in every town, it would be an absolute logistical nightmare to troubleshoot and to find out what happens when the power goes out. Not to mention, it's not going to look pretty. It's going to be a massive eyesore. By centralizing it, you create a more streamlined experience that minimizes the physical footprint. The obvious flip side is that whenever you have a single entity that controls the power grid for an entire region, like the entire West Coast, they really have no incentive to keep the prices competitive for customers. But outside of utilities, I think that integrating and consolidating technologies within an industry is usually the best way forward. When a manufacturer can step up their game with things like automation or adaptive intelligence or any kind of a new technology, the company gets higher net margins and the consumer gets a much better product. This shifts competition entirely because not everybody's trying to reinvent the light bulb, but it becomes how can we use this new light to push the boundaries of what's next. So, ultimately, I think that technological advancement and consolidation is going to be a huge net positive and has been a huge net positive as companies improve efficiency and deliver better products. The real challenge is trying to find that sweet spot where business can achieve great economies of scale, but not completely wiping out the competition that drives the innovation in the first place. Looking forward to an outstanding quarter with you all, and hopefully we all do well together. Take care.